After 30 minutes of calls to her mom, to his department chair at Dalhousie University, and the charter airline, Ava found herself and her brother in a car on the way to the airport. On the plane, Dr. Harrison Tillman watched the video and analyzed each frame, asking Ava for any other vids or pics she had of it. He was referencing the symbol against his notes from his laptop, eventually superimposing the video frame over vases and other artifacts. He talks so animatedly about the possibility of finding a real altar that even Jake forgot the indignity. Is this a different song? No, it's the same song. Okay. Of his place in the video and was getting excited. That looks like an axe. It's a shrine to Thor, Jake exclaimed. Wait, do I need to Google it? Are you talking about what song am I Googling? Quiet down. Dad hushed him, looking around suspiciously. The other pensioners on the flight weren't likely to steal their discovery, but one couldn't be too careful. Plus, I don't think so. Thor is associated with Mjolnir almost exclusively. The axe was just in that comic movie. Besides, this is a double-bladed axe, and this part here doesn't make sense. It looks like a boat, maybe. Is the axe to sell from the boat, maybe? Ava asked, hoping everyone had forgotten she showed tens of thousands of people and counting a vid of her brother looking stupid. I doubt it. It isn't connected, and this is looking down at the ship, not from the side. You sure it's a boat? It looks kind of like a... Well, you know, Jake whispered. Whoops. Don't forget that thought, Jacob, Dad warned. He turned his head a bit and looked at the pig anew, though. Also, no, it doesn't. What kind of videos? You know what? Never mind. Once they had loaded into the car, Ava took the back seat and caught up on her notifications and messages with her friends. Her vid continued to grow, and she was noticing that people had started using her audio or tagging unknown god to their videos, emulating her. She began putting a new video together, stitching video of the passing landscape with Led Zeppelin's immigrant song, Valhalla, I Am Coming. On we sweep with threshing oar. Our only goal will be the western shore. Okay, Zangi. Alright. Is this like the... Wait, I'm so confused. This is still the same song? Okay. She added a note to the video that she was on her way to the OG altar to verify it is real and who the unknown god really is. So stay tuned. She was quite sure this would only exist a short time in the cooler cycle, but she was going to milk it for all the followers. and maybe sponsors she could get. She uploaded it, trusting that the popularity of the sound would bring people to find her. When they reached the visitors center, they again encountered Mark. "Hey, gang, Dr. Tillman, we have the UTV ready to go, and the university contacted us already to expect news centers to call or set up video conferences, so we've set up a studio area at the front desk. Dell thinks the media would be interested?" "Not Dalhousie, King's College." "Really? Interesting." They were loaded into the vehicle and on their way before the conversation had a chance to get any more boring. "Has anyone disturbed the site?" No, there's like... It says it's a almost 5-minute song. So... We're hitting the 4-minute mark now. Is it? Why is it repeating? That's weird. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that's fine, Gwen. Have fun. Well, I guess it's not really fun, but go get a nice sleep and stuff. You know. Get rested. Alright. Hey, Sangi! Thanks for the gifted sub! Oh my goodness. Panda, why all the sad faces? I mean, sleeping is definitely fun, I agree. Thank you, guys. Well, Gwen, that will add you. This week I'll be adding a few people to the sub only Discord, so just be looking out for that. Oh, Panda, you know, I heard vitamin B, is it B or D? One of the vitamins help with that, I don't know. It could just be the season. I have a sunlight lamp to help me. Yes, it's a bookworm. I'm actually going to be changing my sub badges. Maybe. So, I haven't decided yet. There you go, vitamin D, that's what it is. They were loaded into the vehicle and on their way before the conversation had a chance to get any more boring. Has anyone disturbed the site? No, sir. We didn't know what was really going on until they called and sent us the video about an hour ago. I haven't had time to go look at it ourselves. The University of King's College sent a video I made to a Canadian historical site to inform them of a landmark discovery? What is my life right now? Upon arrival at the site they had, Ava led them to the spot and began taking pictures and samples. They were able to assume that the circle had been complete before the trees grew in, and based on where they think the villagers accessed the spring, they determined the icon would have been out of view of most visitors, which Dad mentioned would have likely been necessary for it to remain. After thoroughly documenting it, her dad went about cleaning it very I'm gonna butcher this. I can't think of it in my head for some reason. Meticulously? Ava reminded him that she wiped it off with her hand a few days ago. Yes, but if I did that, I would have to turn my degree in. Once clean, the symbol stood out sharply. A top-down view of a boat with no oars, and above that a two-headed axe. Dub, how are you? How's your day going? So that's one of my cats and that's my dog. I don't think those emotes turned out very well, unfortunately. Thanks for the emotes. Beautiful. This is amazing, Dad said breathlessly. There have never been a shrine to this god. The only other one we know of was defiled and renamed by a Christian missionary around 700 CE. That sounds like a good day, Dub. That's what I'm doing. It was snowing. I don't see snow falling as much. I haven't seen the mask since I was younger, so I don't remember what that dog looks like. As they returned to the UTV, her dad continued to mutter to himself and rationalize his assumptions. Upon reaching the visitors center, they were shown inside and greeted by a young lady at the desk who informed them they had missed more calls than she remembers the site getting in the past month and handed over her notes. Seems the university really wants to talk, Dr. Tillman began before the phone resumed ringing. I'll get it if that's okay. Oh, sorry. I'll get it if that's okay, the girl nodded. Yes? Hello? Or wait, I don't know who's talking here. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just don't remember what the dog looks like on the mask. But no, that emo is my dog. That's Ruben. Thanks, Ashley. Yes? Hello? It's me. I understand. Well, I don't know for sure. I would need to confer with... Really? How many? They want to interview when? Now? The one-sided conversation of surprise and panic lasted another couple minutes before Dad hung up and called the group together. I guess that was Dad talking. Okay, we have a video interview in about 5 minutes with a few news outlets. We'll have to use my laptop. Mark, do you have some speakers or a microphone we can use? Great. Ava, some of the outlets have requested you to be there too. So I'll announce the discovery officially and answer a few questions before bringing you in. Seems your video has attracted a lot of attention, including from other mythology buffs that figured out whose altar it was, and Dell wants to get the official announcement out before any of them get picked up. Luckily, since hardly anyone knew about the well, they haven't put together where we found the mark yet. Most are just assuming it was a prop you made and flexing their obscure god knowledge. Ava had been caught up in the moment since getting to the spot and had forgotten about her video. She pulled her phone out and saw the screen overflowing with notifications, mostly from Cooler, but also messages from her friends, her mom, and other social apps where classmates were connected with her. She was going to message her mom first, but heard her dad on the phone with her, so she moved to Cooler. The video is at over 400,000 views, 57,000 new followers, 38,000 comments between the 3 videos, and even a few people creeping into her older vids and commenting. What? Calm down, deep breaths, it's okay. Wait, did he say I'm going to be interviewed by the news companies? Before Ava could dwell on it too long, her dad was beginning his call, and Mark had taken on the role of a producer, helping with any technical issues and getting the lighting adjusted. The girl from the front desk, Ava saw her name tag read Kendra, had taken the phone off the hook while the interview was going on and had come over to sit with Ava, having sensed that she was nervous about how fast things were moving. Yeah, that's his name, Reuben. Reuben like the sandwich. Which I make a joke about it around St. Patty's Day. This is exciting. Are you ready to be on TV? I don't think I can. Sure you can. Look how confident your dad is up there. And he's a big nerd. You're the popular girl that's a badass priestess of the unknown god with a legion of followers. You actually have more followers than any of the news stations on this interview have viewers. After Ava gave her a sideways glance, she clarified, "We don't have much to do most of the time up here. When Mark told me why you were coming, I watched the video. You're awesome. You got this." Thanks. How long have you worked here? First season. I just finished school and am looking for a steady job in the area. Oh, congrats. What did you study? Psychology and adolescent counseling. My bad. You're pretty good at it. Am I? Thanks. Let me bring Ava over. Her dad said a bit louder as signal for her. Kendra gave her a wink and she made her way over to sit by her dad. Here she is, and I'm happy to announce together that we have found that the altar she discovered belongs to the Norse god Forseti. This is an exciting find, not only the first evidence that the old gods were brought to the Americas, but the first altar to Forseti we've ever found. The various news people began asking questions as her father called on them. Dr. Tillman, what makes you so sure this is an altar to Forseti and not simply a sign for hunting or the well? Great question. Thank you. Generally speaking, the Norse settlers would have erected signs with written language instead of symbols, and placing it in a circle on the ground wouldn't be effective. Plus, it's out of the way and not visible on the path of the well. As for why we believe it to be Forseti, we know there was an ancient story about Forseti assisting a group of Frisians set adrift on a rudderless ship, guiding them ashore and using the axe to draw a spring from the land. For that reason, the axe and the oarless boat have been associated with Forseti, though there are very little contemporary accounts to corroborate with this. I'll be examining it further with my peers. Yeah, wait. Actually, you didn't know there's a sandwich? Yeah, so there's a sandwich called a Reuben. It's usually more popular around St. Patty's Day, but it has like corned beef in it and I think sauerkraut on it and stuff like that. Ava, how did you come upon this find? Well, she began nervously, we were here while my dad was authenticating a nearby well, and I was wandering around making videos when I saw it beneath some leaves. And what makes you think to make an offering and plea to it? I don't know, I was just goofing for a video. I didn't think I'll ever really use it. Were you really being picked on by your brother? It appeared that you had been crying when you made it. Yeah, a bit so. I was angry at the time. I think we're about even now, though. The reporters laughed as Ava glanced up at her brother, who seemed a bit hurt. Dr. Tillman, can you speculate on how the altar remained there, or was put there in the first place? We know that the settlement was found by Leif Erikson and his people, who were Catholic and spread the religion aggressively where they went. A stodgy-looking gentleman asked. It's tough to say right now. This is still a fresh discovery, and I've been thinking about that. The best I could come up with is that most of the Holomen that crewed the vessel would have been lower class and not brought along by choice. It's reasonable that they still worship, or at least remembered, the old gods. When they found a fractured spring similar to the story of Rossetti Spring in Frisia, they brought an altar thanking him. They built it just out of sight of the well and the approach so only those went looking would see it. And they would have been confident that Leif wasn't fetching his own water. Ava, how does it feel to be a viral sensation? A younger reporter asked. I'm still absorbing it. I only thought a few friends would see it at first. Was any of this staged? You recently posted another video of your brother being punished, and you found a mysterious altar. I have to ask, how much of this is real? A man with gray hair asked. Ava noticed his name tag said CFTV. I just recorded what I was doing. Dr. Tillman, this is a publicity stunt by the university to drum up the buzz for this find? No, absolutely not. Why would I use a child for that, let alone cheapen a valuable discovery? So, you think your daughter's antics? The man was cut off by her dad, removing the reporter from the chat. Anyone else have questions? Her dad asked cheerily. After a few questions, her dad brought Jake in and told everyone how good a sport he'd been through this and how much the kids really loved each other. Just pick like any siblings. When the call was over, the whole room sat and stared and tried to catch their breath. And that was chapter 7. Good. I'm almost out of my drink. I should have got more. Alright. So, just a little recap. We just read, basically, the dad and the two kids went back to the site that they found the well and whatnot, and they're in the process of doing like an interview on like for the newscasters and stuff like that. So, you're fine, Seb. How was your day? Sometimes Twitch will be like sending notifications like really late. I've had that happen. So basically they're in this interview with the girl that did the videos and whatnot. And they're just asking questions about this well and the altar, how it was for the god of Forseti and whatnot. That's kind of where we left off. Yeah, I noticed, and I've seen some other people were talking on Discord about how it was acting up. Like, I guess like photos or whatever wasn't posting up any today. At least that's what I've read from other people. So Seth, that's basically what you missed. You haven't missed much. Yeah. You gotta feed the dragon. Thanks for feeding my dragon. Nerdy, you only read a book once? Like, you don't read any other books? Yeah. I don't remember. I don't think anybody else fed it today. Do you remember what book it was? I don't know what you're talking about, Nerdy. I don't. Well, he's happy now, and that's what matters, Seth. Yes. Apparently, the little white thing next to my dragon, that's how you could tell if it's happy or not. I remember, yes, I remember that conversation. I remember that conversation. That conversation has been brought up into other streams too. Just saying. Alright, we'll start chapter 8. And then we'll probably end after this chapter. Glitnir shined across the rim, its silver roof reflecting the sun brighter than it had in a millennium. Forseti walked to the viewing pedestal, feeling much stronger than he had since waking. He drew the blood to begin the ritual and focus on finding his priestess, his Ava. This time, he immediately saw a large web covering the globe, showing lands that he was never able to see before the points of light, indicating a worshipper. The brightest of the lights was coming from near where he had found Ava before. Following the tethers indicating the connections between the followers, he soon found her in a building on the northern shores of a land he didn't know well. As his view neared, he was distracted by a strong pull near the building. Give me 1 second. I forgot to check something. Okay. Nerdy is very bad influence. Yes, I agree. You only read the first Harry Potter? I loved the Harry Potter books. I guess it's good that that there's people like me that can read to you, nerdy. um, Following the tethers indicating the connections between the followers, he soon found her in a building on the northern shores of a land he didn't know well. As his view neared, he was distracted by a strong pull near the building. Looking around, he saw buildings that reminded him of Viking settlements, and away from the shoreline, the source of the energy. Moving quickly, he soon found his altar, broken and long left in despair. He sensed a connection with the followers of old and soon noticed the spring nearby. Did I make this? Could be my work? Why out here though? An hour's walk from the settlement? What's these bits near the altar stone? Colorful, small, perhaps some sort of currency? Let's get back to Ava. I need to figure out what's going on. He found her quickly, now able to sense her easily. She was sitting with an older man, her father perhaps, and speaking to a glowing tablet. There were others around, including a boy-child looking Solon. I am fairly confident that the altar is for Seti's, the older man said. Very little is written about him in the scarce Norse text we have, but the documentations of the spring in Phocytes land and the Lamang era tale of the Frisian law speakers both support that what would become Forseti was associated with well springs. No other Scandinavian deities are associated with these symbols, especially combined. As I said, I'll need further discussion with my peers. You didn't like the Harry Potter books? Seth, you didn't either? What? That is crazy to me. I read all of them. I haven't read the other books. I've heard Alex Cross is really good. Really? That's crazy. Yeah, I watched all the movies and I read all the books. But when I read the books, I was like in middle school. It was a great way to get AR points. Nerdy, do you read you seem to read a lot of non-fiction. Yeah, I haven't read Alex Cross, but that's just what I've heard among a lot of people. The glowing tablet spoke, though Forseti had trouble making out what was said. Moving his view to see the tablet, he saw small faces moving and speaking. He was so absorbed with what he was seeing that he found himself startled when the man started speaking again. Addressing the people on the tablet, Forseti realized. It does seem coincidental that Ava found the altar to a judgment god and asked for help, but it hasn't impacted my analysis. Really, if you look at the original video, she asked for punishment and protection, which is a common thing to ask of a deity, and we see could be perceived as judgment. Because we see judgment happens, it's easy to think it was about judgment all along. It's like shooting a gun at a board and then drawing the target around the hole. I like this guy. Wait, What did that tiny woman say? I think he likes candy, Ava said. My first offering was Smarties, chocolates like these. The girl proceeded to show one of the small, colorful coins and immediately popped it into her mouth and started to chew. A friend used nuts when she tried it, and it backfired on her. I recommend chocolate for best result, but feel free to put your own spin on it. Chocolate? A food? Of course, she's making offerings of food. That's why I've regained strength so quickly. Her friends are making them too. Why is that girl over there talking into a small stone? Going to the other girl in the room, he saw another face on the device she was holding. They were talking back and forth. Hold on, I have another call coming in, she said. Hello? Oh, hey, Trevor. Yeah, it's crazy. We never have anything exciting. Now we have news channels coming in to shoot pieces on the site and the village. I have to go. I have my mom on the other line. What is this power that lets them talk to another through a viewing stone? Which realm are they talking to? After observing for a while and seeing the children exchange numbers with the other adults on their phones, Versetti began to understand the technology. The large tablet, a laptop, held much information that Versetti observed while watching over the men's shoulder. Versetti came to understand that nearly all information about him was gone, though it also appeared that information on the Norse deities were limited. Ava, check it out, the boy that he now knew to be her brother said. You're being refreshed by a bunch of people. It's all over my front page. Oh, hold on, I'm behind on chat, I see. Okay. I can't get caught up. Dee. Okay, I read that. Oh, you're not talking about anything for... Okay. Okay. Fine with me. Oh, you know what? Let's see if I could do these again. What is... the ground is full of holes. Earth? Well, that didn't work. Dang it. I'm trying to get the shoutouts. Why is it not working? Well, it's not just you. Like, I haven't done any shoutouts. I don't know, like, why it's not working. I tried the exclamation point. What goes up? You know, I've heard of that. Well, that didn't work either. I did that stories and it didn't work. Your age? My age? Oh, that's the answer, okay. See, I can't, I don't know. I have to figure that out. Alright, thanks, Seth. Forsetti looked at the phone in Jake's hand. He saw a young boy making an offering on a symbol of Forsetti, what appeared to be a few small shiny pieces with paper sticking out the top. He was asking for judgment against his mother for burning his favorite meal. Thanks, Seth. Yeah, I don't know what's going on because I've tried it different ways and it's not working. A man dies of old age. Wait. What? Who turned 25? Am I missing something? Jake touched the phone and another image came through with what appeared to be bread on the symbol and speaking in a language Forsetti didn't recognize, but could understand thanks to his godly gifts. This girl was asking for punishment against someone who had somehow run over her grandmother. Forsetti could feel a surge of energy and raised his view high above the world, looking at all the requests coming in and offering made. His godly essence would settle most disputes. Midgardian issues fairly required his direct attention, but Forsetti was a wise god and had realized that popularity was crucial currency in the world he now found himself watching. Based on the videos of Ava's that he had now seen, people wanted to see results. He focused his mind and looked for opportunities for immediate satisfaction. Forsetti, God of Judgment, I beg of you to render a verdict on my wife for taking so long to choose a movie that we don't have time to watch it now. A man was saying over an offering of popcorn. Seems a bit beneath me, but okay. While the man was still recording, Forsetti focused on the glowing device in front of them, which seemed to be the source of his consternation with his spouse. A spark came from the back, and a whiff of smoke began to rise. Forsetti, hear me, another commanded. I ask for your judgment on these undersalted French fries. Forsetti took a look around the brightly colored building they were in and determined the subject of the complaint was the small food the man had put out as an offering. You're offering me the thing you're complaining about? Fine. A shout from the back drew the man's attention and his camera. The fry cook had yelped and dropped his basket of fries back into the oil, as well as knocking the salt shaker in as waved his hand to remove the grease that had just burned him. Oh, unknown god, in case you're not Forsetti, Another began, "Cast your gaze upon my offering of the finest chocolate from Sweden, and hear my plea. The man who destroyed my life still walks free. He took my money, my youth, my happiness. He found a new woman." Oh, this is a lady. "And he sits there across the street in his new car while he drops off my children. Where's the justice?" Forseti saw the offering laid out on a straight sheet of paper. It appeared to be a cut-up sausage, though not the color of a sausage he'd ever seen. The man was visible outside in the horseless wagon he had seen at the other spots. The man was talking with the children and ordering them to hug the woman that occupied them. They reluctantly did as they were told and ran to the house. The man turned to the woman and assured her they would like her more than their real mother before they knew it. As the vehicle began to move, Forseti forced the car to turn, hitting a red post nearby. As a torrent of water sprayed up from the impact, Forseti was caught off guard and was still staring when the mother came into the yard carrying her phone and recording the scene. I never heard the riddle about the 25-year-old thing, but I did hear about the what goes up but doesn't come down. Thanks, Seth, for doing the shout outs. Oh, cause of leap year. I got it. After a few more helpings of justice, Forseti removed himself from the viewing surface and laughed to himself. As he walked back towards his throne, he saw that his house was beginning to repair itself. The columns shone of gold, the floors a polished marble. His throne gleamed of silver atop the onyx dais. He walked to his private chambers, seeing his bed decorated with clean linens. A bowl of fresh water sat nearby, and he pushed at it with his mind, seeing the water respond and make a small ripple. Grinning, he held out his hand and closed his eyes. With the sound of a wave crashing on a rocky shore, he opened his eyes to see a golden axe held in his fist. A left glove? Your right hand? That's another one, yeah. I am returned. The strength I feel flowing through me is amazing after days of weakness. He walked his palace, taking inventory of the things that had not been repaired or replaced, and found himself in front of the pedestal again. He faintly heard the voice of his priestess and took a closer look. He quickly found her at a building near the one they had been in earlier. She was in a bedroom now with her brother. Her father appeared to be in a room nearby from which there was water running. You better be nice to me. I'm famous now, and I have a god that can help me. I'm sorry. I never meant to be mean to you. I was just picking. I thought we were having fun. Uh-huh. Well, now you see how it feels. Just don't make any more vids of me, please. I don't want to be known as the guy getting beat up in your videos. No promises. Jake turned away and focused on his phone, tapping it ferociously. Ava pointed hers at her makeshift altar. Forseti could see it clearly now. A book of papers with his symbols and a heading that read, Ava's Anti-Bully Altar. Her phone was plugged into a nearby wall with the cord laying across the book. She had laid out some candies and began to speak. Oh, Forseti, Master of Judgment, now that my brother has been exposed for all to see, I ask that you once again show him your wrath for unfairly taking the bed instead of the pull-out couch. Your right elbow? Wait, I could... Oh, okay, I see. Alright. Forseti looked at Jake, who appeared upset and rolled his eyes. I'm like 2 feet taller than you. You shouldn't mess with the princess of the old gods, especially one with the ability to liver stream. Forseti took a moment to... or live stream. Liver stream. Forseti took a moment to evaluate the situation, seeing that Ava was still recording on her device. There were words flashing across, as well as small symbols of hearts. There were people watching as it happened. He had to give the audience a message, one to cement his name. The cord plugged into the wall sparked, causing the edge of the paper to begin to smolder. Ava shrieked and blew out the embers, Jake running to help her. Ava laid her phone down while she opened the window and her dad emerged from the other room, wet but clothed. After a few minutes, he determined it to be the one wiring in the house they were staying in and tried to calm everyone down. Ava's phone was still lit with viewers watching, and when she returned to pick it up, she pointed it at the paper, showing the aftermath of her request. Some of the wording along the top had been burnt away, and she focused on it a bit before talking to the viewers. Well, guys, that's all the excitement for one night. Forseti studied his small priestess, and tightened his lips. He owed her his life and loyalty. Thanks, Keitrin, for feeding my my dragon. It recently got a mustache, which is kind of weird because I was calling it a girl when I first had it, so I was calling it a she. He owed her his life and loyalty, but he also couldn't let his name be used as a weapon against the innocent. He glanced at the journal once more before retiring to his mansion. Ava's a bully.